Yes, we are. Yes, we
Good
are. Here we
evening,
go.
good morning, good afternoon,
Good night. How's it
good
going?
night. What is going
Hey,
on?
hey, my man. What's going on here? Why are we not in the same? How are we?
Hey, my man, we are virtual now. We are virtual now. We are very virtual. Virtual
Hmm.
Mondays, as you might have realized, obviously. Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
so virtual Mondays, this will be the little new feature that we've got. Yeah, so gardening leave is not that bad. Whenever we go on gardening leave, we come back with some really cool ideas. So we are
Facts.
live. I'm in one part of the world. Dan is in one part of the world.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna review the weekend, international break. It's gonna go down. Fantasy leagues. There's live games going on right now. We'll give you updates
Hmm.
of that. Yeah, man. What's good, Dan? It's been a while. It's been a while.
Hey, yeah, it's been a minute, bro. We had to sort some things out. We wanted to give everybody like something different as well. So that you don't just see us all together in the same studio. Now we're able to do things on the go as well. So this
Yeah,
is just a little
yeah.
taste. And there's more to come. And that's the cool thing. There's more to come. This is just
Of
a little
course,
introduction. So now you guys know
of
that we'll
course.
have virtuals. This is also a way for us to be able to talk to the international community a lot more easier, have guests from all over the world. We can just chat football, bro. But yeah, it's really cool, really really cool. Like I have my glass of water here, so I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man.
You're a happy man. At least your phone won't be sending you alarms, reminding you to drink some water.
You know what I mean?
Cool. Game week 7. I know we're in international break, but let's start game week 7.
Mm.
Highlights, lowlights. I The first thing that comes in my mind is obviously Sundowns Chiefs MTN 8 final. Um, English Premier League. All of a sudden, Cole Palmer is better than Phil Foden. So I mean, what's
Yeah.
your take? What's your take on the previous weekend's games?
Hey man. It was interesting actually. Because I mean that Palmer performance, you know, I'll be honest. That Palmer performance was a special one.
Top
Uh,
draw.
Top throw. I mean, if you can do that in the first half, then I don't know why Chelsea don't know how to win. You know what I'm saying? But that's this. No, because I mean, dude, you playing that well in the first half, and then yeah, fine. Second half they were chilling, but that game was really really good. And then also, I was a bit surprised that Liverpool only won 1-0. Am I mistaken? They only won 1-0 against Crystal Palace. So yeah, I was a bit like, okay, what's going on here?
Yeah,
Again, and it is the Premier League. Don't get me wrong. I know it is a Premier League
no doubt,
difficult,
no
but I
doubt.
mean,
I mean, I expected goals from that game as well. The Liverpool game. I expected quite a few goals, maybe 3, 4. Brace Nyana, Mohamed Salah, type of thing.
yeah,
But
yeah, man. Like obviously, I was thinking a young, if like a 3-1, 3-1 win type of game. But then for Jota to score in like what 8 minutes, first 8 minutes, and then
yeah, and that's it. The whole
and then the game
80
was
minutes
the game was done. The game
blank.
was done. So,
Yeah, it's fine.
so I was like, yeah, and then I mean, Man City was cool. It was scary a little bit.
Hey, what is it with Man City and conceding,
Man, especially at home. I don't know. I don't
especially
know.
at home?
Especially at home. I don't know what happens. I was a bit like, I remember there was one meal I said, man, it's full air, man. We're just, we're just shaking. And then, hey, and then all of a sudden, it was another goal, and I thought, hey, now
The thing is,
I'm on
you
the
guys
close.
could have
I'm like,
probably by halftime, you guys would have probably been what 2 goals down. By the
yeah,
60th
easily.
minute, the game would have been maybe three, four
Easily.
goals down. I mean, Adama Traore. I mean, like, what is going on?
Yeah, 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 bro. Again, it's the same thing. I found this trend. Actually, I wanted to ask you, man. This trend of like these smaller teams, like I say quote unquote smaller, but like Fulham, Aston Villa, Newcastle, right? Inverted, I say inverted commas small because they're really not, but Brentford. Why is it that some games, right? You'll find Fulham will lose to Southampton, Baba. Will lose Southampton, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
that was good. And then they go to a Chelsea, they go to a United City, Liverpool, Arsenal. All of a sudden now,
All of a sudden, the
Haaland
game
doesn't
is
know. Haaland is missing. Now, we needed Kovacic to save the day. Now, all of a sudden, uh, ah, now Savinho can't pass and defend. Now, what's going on?
you know what I think it is, right? When you look at um, the smaller teams, when they play
Mm,
against teams that are at their level, I think from a mentality point of view, it's a team at our level. We can maybe 80% can get us a win. You know, if it's really their day to day, maybe we might have to put 100%. But with the big teams, here it's like how managers would say it's a free hit. You're expected to
mm,
lose. You don't expect
mm.
it to do anything. You don't expect it to even get a point. So if nobody's expecting anything from you, you might as well just go for it. So I think that's the mentality with the small teams. But the bigger teams, I know this because this has happened. This has happened to us, right? In a
Mm.
football environment where you're playing against a team that you know you're gonna beat this team with a 5 seat. You know they're weak. I mean, collectively as a
Yeah,
team, you have better. You can play with 9 men and you can still beat them, right? But as soon as
exactly.
you get onto the pitch, right? As soon as you get onto the pitch, that
Mm,
intensity that you would normally have, that high focus that you would normally have, because now already you're thinking, 90 minutes will be done, 3 4 goals. So already your intensity drops, right? Your mindset drops until they score 1 2 goals. Then you're like, okay, gents, let's wake up. I think I think
okay,
maybe that's
okay.
what some of the big teams suffer a little bit, especially the players, because I mean, you're playing Southampton at home, you're expected to win, my man, and then all of a sudden, but
Mm,
2 goals, quick succession. Now you're under pressure. Now you have to. Now it's a okay, gents, and they're gonna defend the whole game, right? Once they have that 1 goal
yeah,
extra, or
yeah.
it's
Asta
gonna be packed up us the whole game.
yeah, parked the bus. But then, okay, but then, now this is my thought is it. If you're playing against a newly promoted team, like Ipswich or whatever, right? Then you might have a mentality of like, okay, these guys haven't played in the Premier League. Most of these players, some of these players, so they're gonna go out there wanting to prove, wanting to show to people like, hey, we're here. We're not here by chance. We're here to play. And then they'll lose some games, whatever's difficult, whatever, cool. But my man, if you're in the Premier League, bro, and consistently season after season, right? Wolves is not a consistent team, for example, right? But then there'll be one game where Matheus Cunha will score 3 goals, hat trick, baba. Game is over. Wolves has won. You're like, yeah, man. But then now it's a shock. It's a shock win or a shock loss. But it's the Premier League. So now,
Yeah,
like, I think it's quite funny that you're playing against Everton, right? They for the past 3 seasons they've been struggling really, really, like two relegation battles back to back. It looks like it's going to be a third one. The way things are going, it's like you still can't think. Okay, well they are fighting to win relegation, so okay, guys, actually, you know what? Yeah, no, Kovacic, you can rest. Hey, Chief,
there's no
anyway,
luxury like that anymore.
hey, Chief. The only time that can happen, I think, is like FA Cup or Carabao Cup when it's like round 32 and it's like
Right.
uh, it's like what's a small, like a really small team? It's like, I don't know, like Wigan versus, Chelsea.
Mm,
Like, oh, okay, fine. You know what I
mm.
mean? Then I understand if the mentality is like, hey guys, we're going to small team, let's not get injured. Let's just play nice. Let's win one or two, three goals, and then you get a shot, loss, whatever, fine. But man, Premier League is like, it's like you, it's like saying you play in the Conference League, and then you are in your country, Aston Villa, big deal, and then all of a sudden you're playing against Zagreb, or you're playing against Dinamo Kiev, or you're playing against a Turkish team like Galatasaray or something, right? And then you get shocked when you lose. You're like, my man, do you know do you know what's going on? Do you know where you're playing? It's not like there's no small team. I think
Right,
I
right,
think I think I think if and maybe this will actually benefit the big teams. But I think every club, every player should have that mindset of like, guys, Premier League or La Liga, Bundesliga, whatever league, we need to win this game. This
right,
team can
right.
beat us. Like
At
League
any
One.
at
There
any
was
given point, yeah.
like League One. What's the team that shocked everyone? Everyone they almost dropped Nice. Dante was the best center back, bro.
Oh,
Oh,
remember?
but they like who would have
Yeah,
thought? Or
yeah.
when let me go back when Lille won the league with Hazard and those guys that were back when they were younger back then. It's like a shock, Leicester, all this kind of stuff. So
Right.
it's like if you, again, I don't know where this mentality comes from. I don't know why players like have this thing of like, I'm only going to Brentford, I'm only going to Everton, I'm only going to Ipswich, I'm only going to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest at home, chief. Those players would die on the pitch every game. We've seen it. The fans are there. You'll be surprised.
But now, but now, okay. So remember during preseason we had this debate whether the English
Mm,
Premier League is the best league or the most competitive league, right? There
mhm.
was also debates around what makes that league competitive, right? So the thing is that you can lose whether you're a big team or not. You can lose at any point in time in the league, right? But
Yeah,
now there's another perspective to this, right? Yes, we say the English Premier League is the most it's the most competitive. Some say it's the best, But I mean, we've had that debate. But the point
mm,
is, if it's the most competitive league in the world, why has
yeah.
Man City won the league 6 times out of 7, or was it 5 times out of 6 in a row? You know what I mean? So
Mm,
because yes, City can go to Southampton and lose, they can go to Ipswich and lose, but they've won the league 4 consecutive times in a row, and five times out of six seasons. So is it really competitive? Because in the past 6 seasons, it's been the same team winning. So
I, I, I think.
that's the debate.
Mm. I mean, you have a good point. I mean, four titles in a row is usually never been done before, and it happened last season, right? So, you know, but then at the same time, if you look at Bundesliga, Bayern Munich will have won what? They won like for 11 years
Yeah, in a row.
until.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
which is like, it's like, what are
yeah.
we
Same
doing?
with
And
same
then
with same with the same with the old lady, Juve.
Juve went through that period where they
In that
literally
streak.
didn't
Yeah,
lose. They just didn't
yeah,
lose,
yeah,
right? And then in case of Bayern Munich, it takes a Xabi Alonso and a Bayer Leverkusen to just shut up. It was like, whoa,
yeah,
crazy,
yeah.
unbeaten season, incredible, whatever. So I think for the last one game, the Euro final, but it's like we need to decide what is competitive. You understand?
I think that's
What
where it lies.
what is competitive? What is this definition, right? Because is it how many, like for example, is I know some people say, well, it's all about the types of high profile players that go to a league. Okay, well then, if that's the case, then that means La Liga is the best league by default.
Yes, because the best
Because
players go to La Liga.
because we can name drop just I can name drop five. Ronaldo, Ronaldo, Messi, Kaká,
I mean,
Ronaldinho,
you can go
Xavi,
all yeah, but
Iniesta,
now,
Xavi.
those players are not trickling down the 20 La Liga teams. They're literally playing for just two teams. So,
True, but
you
that's
know,
just money. Yeah, that's just money. So I'm
yeah.
saying, so right, that could be one metric to say who like where the best players playing, right? You know, you compare Cole Powers in Premier League, Foden's in there, but Bellingham and Vinicius are in the Liga. You can compare. Then you've got the argument of national national teams. Where are majority of these players playing, right? Like quote unquote, you know, who are the where are the players who represent their country, captains, first team across the whole world? Where are they playing, right? If you look at you know, you look at like Son, for example, he's captain of South Korea. South Korea, even historically, Jisung Park, right, as well as another guy. It's like they played in the Premier League, for example, right? Just a random example, or even that defender. I think he plays for Bayern Munich now as well, and he played for Napoli. I can't remember his name, but also that defender, very good defender, right? South Korean, right? But he didn't play in Premier League. He played in Serie A. Now he plays in Bundesliga. Then you've got so it you know, but then sorry to say England. They say they've got the best league. All the players play in England apart from Bellingham and Beckham in the past and Michael Owen
And
as
that
well.
young boy, Angel Gomez, who plays for that French
Yeah,
team.
yeah, and
But
Angel Gomez.
so
But
yeah, man. So look, this is a. I mean, I don't want to bring back that debate, but it also,
it's a good
for
one.
me,
It's a good one.
for me the question is, your league is the best league, yet you fail to win the
Anything.
prestige. The prestige. Okay, fair enough. You fail to win anything.
It's
So
true.
how does that?
It's
I
true.
mean, so how does that add up? But yeah, it will be interesting. It will be
Exactly.
interesting to know what the people think, because at the end of the day, I mean, we always hear these things from the commercial pundits and mainstream media and all of this,
Yeah,
But for me, the debate is here on the ground. It's here with
yeah.
us fans. I think, look, I'm in a fantasy group, right, with a few gents. Now,
Mm,
those gents are not into any other league except the Premier League and English football per se, or some of them, right? And they
mm.
have no interest in any other league except that, right? So for me, that's more TV broadcasting commercialization, because now we see it everywhere we go. So obviously we're going to be attracted to it, and obviously we're going to watch it because they're saying we've got the best players, we've got the best managers. I actually just realized there's only two English coaches in the English Premier League. The rest are foreigners. So they're suffering the
Yeah,
same problem as we are here in South Africa.
yeah, yeah.
So that's
True,
why
true. Good
neither
point.
country is winning anything.
So we're just blaming
I
the
mean,
coaches because they're
blame it
not.
on the colonizer, chief. Let's blame it on the colonizer. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I hear you.
Because we set the blueprint, right? I mean, we're not winning
I hear
anything.
you.
I mean, out of
Well,
16 teams, how many of our coaches are South African? Okay, I think maybe it's a little bit better now, but when you look at the previous seasons, I mean, you could literally,
historically, yeah.
count these guys in one hand.
Mm,
Now, segueing into, okay, before we get to
it's difficult.
Bafana, let's talk about the
That's,
yellow elephant. This Sundowns offside. Hey, my man,
mm,
I don't know. So For me, if we are to dissect the rules a little bit, right? Okay, we don't have coaching licenses, we don't have referee licenses.
Please,
We are
hey,
just
please,
fans.
hey,
We are
hey,
just fans, right?
we're just talking. Yeah.
They say um, the offside, right? The offside line, right? You will be judged offside if the part of your body that is eligible to play the ball is offside,
Hmm.
right? Now that's deep. So that could be anything from your shoulder, your chest, your toe, your knee, your head,
Yeah.
your ear, whatever. Whatever is eligible.
Hmm.
But if it's your hand, let's say, so if I'm running and it's my hand that is offside, but the rest of my body, the rest of my legal playing body is onside, then I should be judged onside, right?
Yeah.
So now the question with this Sundowns offside is that Ribeiro, he looks to be in line with the last defender. I think the last defender is that big guy who likes to head at the ball. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But the difference is that Ribeiro's leaning a little bit more forward than the defender. So now the question
Mm.
I have is what's leaning more forward? Is it his shoulder? Is it his arm? Is it his knee? Is what is that one little millimeter that's moving extra forward to make us think or to make us say it's offside? If it's the shoulder, then fair enough, offside. If it's the hand or the arm, then it can't be offside, right? I don't know what your take is.
Ash, it's yeah, it's rules. You know,
It's technical.
it's
It's,
difficult.
it's really
It's
technical.
very technical, and it's difficult because there've been so many situations where only the arm is offside and it's accepted as an offside, right? But then the reasoning is, oh, as the ball was played, the legal playing body was already offside, but
Yeah,
the actual cameras caught the ball close down on the line with the last defender, and then the arm was in front, but no, we're counting from when the ball is placed. So now, what is the rule? Is the rule offside? Does it count from when the ball is kicked, when its ball is played, when it's crossed, when it's passed, right? As it leaves,
as
is
it
the
leaves your foot.
position as it leaves your foot, is the position of the player the ball is intended to go to
In an
pre
offside
does
position.
that determine offside, or is it as the ball reaches you and now
No, no,
it's
it's when
within
the
you, or
ball
let's
leaves
say,
your foot. It's
yeah,
when the ball
okay,
leaves
no,
your foot.
no, exactly, right, exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
So now the ball leaves the foot. Yeah. So I'm here. Okay. So let's say, imagine, right? So I'm running. I see. I'm seeing Trent there. Trent is coming. It's coming. The ball is coming. So I'm here. I'm in this position. My arm is in front because now I'm preparing to. I'm trying to keep an eye on the defender. I'm
To
preparing to go
accelerate,
because
to take off. Yeah.
of course, I'm avoiding offside. So I'm here. Then someone says my pinky is over the line. The defender was just behind my pinky.
Yeah, but your pinky does
Yeah.
not play the ball.
Correct. So that's offside.
No, but then you can't be offside if your pinky is offside because your pinky can't score.
Correct. So
Yeah.
now, so now, as long as, so basically from your elbow up, right, is, well, I guess your arm. So from your shoulder to your hand doesn't count. So now, my point is, when does that cut? Because now so you're telling me I can be
They
with the defender and
say
I can
shirt,
just do, and
they say shirt
the shirt
sleeves.
sleeve, the shirt sleeve. Okay,
Shirt
so now
shirt
you're telling
sleeve
me,
down, you can't play. Shirt sleeve up, it's legal.
it's legal. So I can just, so with the defender, me, I can just put my arm out like this. I can just
Yes,
do
and
this.
then force the defenders to stop because they think you're offside. And then because the rules say your arm doesn't play, you already have an advantage because the defender will automatically think, oh, but this guy is ahead of me.
It's
But now we
offside.
don't have the VAR to now make those decisions because now the on-field linesman is the one that now has to make that decision.
So now you see, so now this is so now we're getting to the real issue.
Right, right.
The real issue is infrastructure at the end of the day. Because now we cannot be considered a competitive top football league in the world, right? In the world, and we're not utilizing a form of VAR. I don't know, right? Something. Because now, and I don't people can't tell me about money, man. Like, come on. But I'm just saying it's like we these kind of mistakes, even I remember seeing yeah, it was post game that the coach was talking, saying we need to invest in some sort of VAR. Like, there's no way. Like, we can't keep doing this because naturally human error, like before VAR, there were times where, as the family watch the TV, they show the freeze frame. And we're like, oh, guys, he's not offside, dog. But the linesman said, check.
They
The
show the
linesman
freeze
said,
frame.
so, and we're like, how? And we can see, but in the moment, right, the linesman he's responsible or she's responsible, and the arm is up and it's offside, right,
Right.
right or wrong, right? But now, I think because we're so used to VAR as lovers of football who watch every other league or other leagues, it's weird when we're still here, still dealing with human error. Now, I don't think it was offside, to be honest with you,
Mhm.
based off the rules, but because there is no technology that can validate that without debate, human error, chief, human error, dog. So I can't even be mad at the linesman or the referee. I can be like, ah, man, but that's what he saw, and if he saw, right. So let's say I'm here, right, and the defender's here, and then this is my shoulder. If my shoulder was just past him, just past him, then that's offside for sure because now it's legal play. Né? So I'm not mad at that, but I just think we're gonna have this debate. And I remember last season we spoke about I think, was it the last tape? No, it was before. We spoke about the how good the rugby
The
VAR is.
TMO. Yeah, yeah, the TMO. Yeah,
TMO,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's
How
proper.
good
It's precise.
their
Yeah.
stuff is. And it's like, guys, plug and play. Like, it's not like buy the license if you have to. Plug and play, apply to football and go. But I'm saying, like, across the board, as long as we're still dealing with natural human decisions,
Yeah.
in the context of offside, fouls, etc., and decisions during a game, red cards, yellow cards. My man,
It's going down.
we're gonna have another one because at the end of the day, now imagine, okay, so imagine you're a striker, now you're a striker, you there, you get the ball, you're running, you pass back, you're going for the wing, now you're running across. Now you're sprinting naturally. Let's say you're the type of sprint where your head is down, right? Because also physics, right? Your head is down, you're running forward, like like a Haaland type 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 sprinter. Now,
Hold on. I think we've got a goal. France has scored. So what I'm
oh,
gonna do,
okay, okay, okay.
I'm going to add. I want to see if I can actually add the game.
Let's see. Le
Okay,
Bleu.
so what I do this. So what I wanted to ask, right? What I wanted to ask
Mhm.
was now in South Africa, our how can I say our challenge or our Achilles heel is the fact that we don't normally there we go.
Nice.
We don't have enough cameras, right? So now the reason for
Oh, it's
VAR
it's it's
to
it's it's just
be
black, bro. Just double check the
oh, is it just black?
yeah, just double check there so the people can see.
Let me just refresh. So
Mm.
the point that I'm saying is that in South Africa we don't have. the broadcasting capacity for VAR, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
let me put it this way. Uh, in order for us to have VAR in South Africa, we need we need to be able to broadcast every single match live.
yeah. Which we
See what I
don't. Yeah,
and we
which
don't
we
have
do
that
not.
type of capacity. It would have to
Yeah,
take what you call not Safa, a super sport, um, collaborating with an SABC, and oh, it's still blank. Okay, I don't know, but
yeah.
the score is 1-0 nonetheless. The
Because
score
like
is
it,
the
because like
score is
it's
1-0 nonetheless. It's all good. It's all good.
yeah,
We'll keep
yeah.
updating. And then Italy is leading Israel 1-0. Germany, Netherlands still 0-0.
And
So
Netherlands.
so the problem is that we don't have enough cameras. I don't know if SuperSport came on the table, if SABC came on the table, would we still be able to broadcast um, an entire weekend's game week? Every game broadcast on stadium screens. We have VAR infrastructure set up. That's a lot of cameras. So when people talk about money, it's more related to that than it's more related to the infrastructures. How do we get a minimum of 10 to 15 cameras for every single game so that we are able to judge offsides, off the pitch things and all of that stuff?
I think the overarching issue is investment, man. We've said this
I mean, we've
before.
got Betway now. We've got Betway.
Yeah, but I mean, we said this before. We've asked this question: Are we a footballing nation? Is we've had this conversation, which is quite funny because this is why we exist. But like, really, are we a footballing nation to the point where it's a no-brainer to invest, right? So that's why a lot of these leagues, I mean, Premier League, it's not government that's investing. It's like it's not just the UK government or whatever. There's a lot of private investors. There's a lot of angel investors potentially. There's a lot of moving parts. People
So
don't
what is it? Is it
see
the willingness?
the willingness, the interest. People don't see the potential, right? And I'm saying people as in it's not happening fast enough for it to come across that way. So, for example, just because you know the richest person here is there at CAF, it doesn't mean it like I don't see that as progress. I'm just gonna put that out there. Just because a South African is there at CAF doesn't mean there's progress. It doesn't. Because from grassroots level, when we watch the Euros versus watching AFCON, it doesn't make sense to me that an organization that should be as big as UEFA, continentally speaking, right, is able to pull enough investments to where any stadium, good quality grass. We have to make a plan, right? Any stadium, good quality grass. There's enough cameras. We've got VAR. It like all the quote unquote normal systems of a well-run, pretty big organization. Right? It's not easy to run a sport like this, and it takes time. But it doesn't. There doesn't seem to be investment, like to say, okay, we are coming along. We are. I don't want to throw any company name here. We're a bank or we're a firm or whatever. We're dude, an energy drink, whatever, and we're gonna put money into this, and we're gonna provide uh, you know, we're gonna provide, for all PSL games, we will be the main sponsor for cameras. We'll be the main sponsor for making sure grass is always green, making sure advertising is there. Like it's and I'm not talking about infrastructure like, oh, we must build more stadiums, we must do that kind of stuff. No, no, no. I'm talking to your
Yeah,
point, like
yeah.
not like what like
First,
why can't
first, I mean, we would need. I mean, in South Africa, we have this thing. It would need to go out on tender for us to get a tech company to either buy the software or you know what I mean. And then you're gonna have another tender for production companies to come and bid. I mean, so it's a lot of steps, a lot of red tape. Could we not? So if look, Betway has come in now with supposedly or allegedly 900 mil, right?
yeah,
And we still don't have VAR. So that means it will cost us more than 900 mil to have VAR in the league.
yeah,
So like and yet this Betway sponsorship. I mean, we're still watching games on Super Sport. We're still watching games on SABC. So couldn't there be a discussion around, okay, how do we keep our team better? Not team, our league better. How do we make our league better? How do we help the referees not make the mistakes? Okay, look, the referee didn't do himself any favors. He was like 5 yards away from the actual offside line, so he didn't do himself any favors, But yeah, I just fail to understand that. Okay, sure, I get it. The money, the infrastructure, but it's literally a couple of tech companies, good ones, credible ones, couple of production companies with the leadership of Supersport and SABC, right?
yeah,
And cooperation with the clubs, right? But
Exactly.
again, so when you look at the English Premier League format, their fixtures are designed for broadcast. That's why you can watch all of the English Premier games from 1 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night. You won't miss one because that's how the fixtures are based, right? They're based on the broadcast model. That every team must be watched. That's why all of those teams, it's easy for them to get sponsors, etc., etc. Which is one of the things that we have here, where PSL teams have always throughout the years complained about lack of sponsors and what, and it all boils down to TV rights. We sponsors are saying we are not shown on we the only time we are shown on TV is if we play against Pirates or if we play against Sundowns or if we play against Super Sport. You know what I mean? We don't have enough airtime for the sponsors to say, okay, all 30 games that you play as Chippa United or as Marumo Gallants, these games will be broadcast, right? So meaning they will be visible eyes on your product. So yes, I can invest, be your technical sponsor or be whatever type of sponsor, because I am guaranteed visibility, because now the team is going to be shown on TV 30 times in the season. Because when you're playing at home, obviously it's televised. When you play away, obviously it's televised. And then that automatically feeds into the VAR infrastructure, because now we can broadcast all our games. So now we can have the capability of VAR, and then our referees are helped out. But it seems like VAR, at this rate, we'll see it for 10 years, 2035 or something.
But
You know what
but
I mean?
but but what you're saying is what I'm saying is what we're saying. It's that
Yeah,
it's literally a few tech companies that already do this,
right.
spreading across Africa, pushing a sport that apparently we're a nation of,
Exactly.
and then I don't get it. So it's like, my man, like, okay, I don't want to get political, ne? But
That's another thing. Sports and politics, there's such a thin
y-
line there.
like, my man, but okay, so for example, we are part of BRICS, ne?
Right.
We're part of BRICS.
Yes.
Ah, chief, there's no Brazilian company that does the
My
like.
man, the Saudis just went and bought the fantasy league software and they just plugged and played. Now
My
we can play
man,
Saudi FC
Saudi.
football.
I mean, my man, China. My man, China. We've got how many? We've got Wow. We've got all the Chinese ones here. We've got Huawei. We've got Techno. We've got TCL. We've got so many companies and organizations, right? That if that we can work with, right? You know, MTN 8. It's just MTN 8. I
Is
don't
this is
think.
this
No, I'm sorry. I don't think that, like for example with MTN, that's the only thing that they can help with. That's the only thing that they can aid in infrastructure is a particular tournament. Why can't, because it's a networking company? Why don't we, as a nation, if we care about sport so much, why don't we create a separate entity that focuses on getting sponsorships for the Premier League, right? For the PSL, getting all the stuff, bringing it together, not just for Sundowns, Chiefs, and Pirates.
with the same sponsors in some cases?
You know what I mean? Why don't you get an organization that their sole job is to bring the people together to say, listen, we want to build this thing from the grassroots up, and then, and because we already have,
Isn't
there
that
is a base, which is what we have now, and then you simply apply what you're saying. Get these tech companies, get a couple of people here and there, and then it's easier for people to
isn't
see
what you're
these
saying
clubs,
a
and then you get,
governance? Isn't what you're saying a governance thing, right? So I
yeah,
imagine the entity of PSL, right, who manages and runs and administers the league and the clubs in the league, right? You
yeah,
have SAFA, the governing body, right, that governs everything football in the country. Then you have the Department of Sports and Arts and Culture. Out of those three entities, but you know what? Then I think we're clutching at straws here because we can't even come. I mean, these three entities can't even come up with a proper women's PSL. So I mean, what are we doing? Sundowns plays against university teams. You know,
yeah,
there's what
yeah.
Sundowns, there's TS Galaxy. I know I'm digressing here, but if we can't even organize a professionally run women's league, I mean, we're talking VAR here, bro. We're talking tech. We're talking cameras in every stadium, whether it's Makulong Stadium or FNB. You know what I mean? I, are we really? I mean, is this too far fetched for us to be? I mean, yeah, and I mean, fans. Every time there's going to be an offside, fans are going to ask VAR, where is it? Every time there's a handball that was supposed to be a penalty, or there's a foul that some think it's a penalty and some don't, and it's subjective. That conversation is always going to come up. So, for how long are the football leaders going to just watch and just let it be until what? Until the stadium is burnt? Because I mean, we've had this history before where a stadium is burnt because of on the pitch decisions, right? Do they really want to get to that point? Do they really want? I mean, people are already throwing missiles on the pitch, right? And we don't know
Yeah.
what those missiles are. They could be glass, they could be whatever. So, do we really want to get to that point before we can say, okay, we'll bring VAR? You know what I mean? So, I'm just trying to figure out the train of thought here with these
You
the
know,
league and
yeah. No, look, you make valid points, but I think, like just to shift from this, I think honestly, there's definitely people who are keeping it here because I think that's what makes the most sense for them, money, whatever. Um, and I'll just say, yeah, are we really a footballing nation? Like as a thing, or is football just has to be a sport? Because this problem is not, of course every sport has an issue, but this problem is not as big as in rugby. Rugby is a lot more fixed, a lot more structured, a lot more support, a lot more systems. Rugby, no problem. Cricket is even pretty good. Um, you
so when
know,
you ask the question, are we really a football nation? There's a few fans after the 5-0 drubbing of Congo that will say, "What do you mean? Of course we're a football country. Look at us. We just beat Congo 5-0. And now we're gonna win the AFCON, and now we're gonna beat Barcelona. We're gonna win the league, the World Cup, and that Kaiser Chiefs syndrome.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So is it as a nice segue into this Bafana game? Is it a fluke? Has it been coming? Because obviously we've had those challenges with Hugo Bruce. Is this game now a first glimpse of, okay, now the coach's philosophy or whatever it is has been instilled. The guys are playing the way he wants. Now there's chemistry between them. And hence now the type of performance that they got. Is it a fluke? Is it a you, you know um or can we say, hey, this is looking good. If we keep this up and we keep improving, maybe we could have a shout in the AFCON, in the next AFCON.
I don't think this is a fluke. Um, Before Hugo Bruce, I would say 100%. I'd be like, ah, guys, don't worry. Congo wasn't playing. We're not even gonna qualify anyway, right? I would be very pessimistic. But especially after how we performed in the last AFCON, finishing third, uh, beating Morocco. Um, I think I think it's a good sign. I think it's a very good sign actually because he's been there for longer than most coaches. So there's something about Hugo Bruce that I guess the people who make those decisions like about him. And there's been results. Again, our first AFCON that we qualified for properly in a very long time, and we get a bronze medal is not bad at all. Now, is that a standard? No, we should be getting to every single final because we are, we should be in the top list of, amongst Egypt, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, top Morocco, top Algeria, top performing African nations. But from what we were used to what we're seeing now, it's like 10 times better. We just wish
Yes.
Zwane was 10 years younger because then we'd be like, hey, now, hey. But yeah, I think it's a good sign, bro. I don't think, let's not talk about winning the World Cup or anything like that yet. But let's actually qualify. But
Right.
but for AFCON and stuff, yeah, man, I think we definitely have it in us to win AFCON without a doubt. I don't think that, you know, especially in recent times in AFCON, I don't think of many teams apart from Morocco and Egypt, um, that are like better than like I'm talking like outright like, hey, these guys are great, right?
Yeah,
Because
pound
Morocco,
for
of
pound.
course, yeah, apart from like Morocco, of course, did the unthinkable World Cup, first African nation, semi-final, amazing, and then Egypt with the history of being the best, winning the most AFCONs. Uh, but like, yeah, man, like we've
So
like in the past 2 3 years, we know we've beaten Nigeria qualifiers, we've beaten Ghana
yeah,
many
yeah.
times, like so for me, it's like, yeah,
So
man,
should I
I,
so should I be having a pie with me here? And maybe should you be
no,
having a pie? Because now, the last time we sort of analyzed the Bafana performance, it was when they drew 2-2 with Sudan, and one of the subscribers
yeah, yeah,
sent us a comment and was like, the way we are so disrespectful. Or I'm paraphrasing, but he basically
mm,
said we don't deserve any more subscribers to this vodcast because we are critiquing Bafana and we have no place critiquing Bafana. And then subsequently that following game they won. And then the same guy came back. I think it was another subscriber. He was like, yeah, so they won now. Now what? What you going to say? So the question is, are we supposed to have humble pie here with us? I
no,
mean, are we
no,
not supposed to criticize our teams because we expect so much Yeah, we expect so much high level. We expect winning. We expect to be qualifying for these tournaments. We expect to be getting in. Like it should be a no brainer for us to be easing through. Okay, I know easing through is a bit, not to
Yeah, that's a
disrespect
tough
other
one.
teams and other countries, but we
Mm.
we should be
But I get
easing
you.
through our qualifications as a football country.
Listen, to that subscriber, I get where they're coming from, but I thought when I saw the comment, I was like, okay, clearly there are different benchmarks here, right?
What do you mean?
No,
He's saying his bar is low.
no. Listen, and no disrespect, but like winning one game 5-0 doesn't mean anything if you can't even qualify for the tournament that you're trying to qualify for. We hadn't qualified for the AFCON for what, a decade prior to the last one? We've won how many games within those 10 years? We've won games. We didn't qualify. So it doesn't matter, right? When Italy didn't qualify for the World Cup, do you think people are like, yeah, no, but we beat Latvia and we beat Spain, and yeah,
My
we also
man.
beat Andorra. My man, you didn't qualify. It doesn't matter, Chief. You
And it
you
was
you
a
won.
whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. You won games, but you didn't win enough. You didn't play well enough because there's an end goal. And then when you qualify for the AFCON, the end goal is always to win. If I say is to win, if you're I guess any team, but especially if you're within that top bracket of like you're expected to at least have a competitive tournament, right? Uh, um, again, your Morocco's, Algeria's, even the smaller, quote unquote, smaller countries like Cape Verde, right? Like Cape Verde, when they now were like, hey, we must watch out, or that surprise from Madagascar, the one of those FCons where it was like, oh, these guys are going all the way and stuff like that. We have those moments, but if you're coming back and saying, yeah, we won 5-0, so what? Hey, let's qualify. You think I'm caring about 5-0? Chief. It's it's it's
Just bring
it's
the
it's
trophy
it's a
home. Then we can
it's a
celebrate.
good feeling. Of course, any fan, your country wins. We're happy. I mean, do you think when and of course every country is different, but to go to the other side of the scale, if Brazil make it to the final of the World Cup, they don't lose a single game, and then they lose the final,
That's a
which has
self-esteem.
happened. They
Somebody's
will go
statue is
back
gonna get
home.
burnt.
They will go home. There will be a press conference. There will be microphones ready at the airport. You must sit
Somebody
there
will
and you must say
elevate
sorry.
them.
And you must apologize to the nation for not winning the
Right.
final. It doesn't matter. You've won all those games, but the one that meant the most, you didn't win. So I'm saying it's a good thing that we're winning clearly, and we're playing really, really well. But for me, as a football fan of football holistically, and as a South African, I expect Bafana to compete in AFCON every single time. That's my expectation. So when we don't, I get disappointed, right? I was very pleased with the last AFCON because we finished third because of the inconsistencies we've been dealing with up until now, and now things are looking really, really good. So I say, let's look for the next AFCON. Let's see how we play, and then hopefully we win. Because I generally don't go to an AFCON thinking, hey, Ivory Coast probably not going to win. We expect them to get there. Oh, Cameroon, we expect it. Nigeria, we expect it. Egypt, we expect it. Why is South Africa not in that conversation of no? But surely we
So now
expect it.
we
We
must
are the
first
best.
check who's in the group. Then we'll say, okay, yeah, maybe here we'll get a point. Maybe there we'll do
Chief,
this.
my man, now we're
You know
taking
what I'm saying?
like what Tato's saying. Now we're taking calculators. Now we are here like no. So if they
Yeah.
draw away and then we score 3 goals, ne? We score three, but we can concede one only. But if we score, hey Muna,
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work. So I think standards in terms of what we believe Bafana can achieve and should achieve is different. But no, I mean, to have humble pie, no, I mean, like we haven't like the 5-0 win doesn't mean we're the best team in Africa. The best team in Africa is the team that wins AFCON. Simple as it, plain and simple, right? So Ivory Coast right now is the best team in Africa. Full stop. They have the proof. They have the trophy, right? When Cameroon won it before, you know, Senegal, you know. So it's like we need to be we need to have that mentality. Like we need to be in the conversation. So, for example, when round of 16 comes, and it's like it's Ghana, it's Nigeria, it's Egypt, it's South Africa, it's Senegal, it's Tunisia. It's like yo, who is going to how is this gonna play out? Because that's what excites us. Bafana haven't been again excluding the previous one in Ivory Coast. We haven't had that up until now. So I think people are genuinely excited because we're playing well and it looks so good. But I'm playing it safe because I'm so used to not doing well that I'm scared. So maybe it's my fault, but to tell me I must eat humble pie because we beat Congo 5-0 in the qualification, relax, chief.
You must come
Relax.
down. You must rest.
You
Rest,
must, you
chief.
must rest. Maybe so when we win AFCON, the next AFCON, then
Then
I'll
we
I'll
can
I'll
say,
I'll I'll have a nice muffin here and say, hey, you were right. But and I'll be happy because we won. But I think we need to hold our national team to a very high standard because we hold Springboks to a high standard. We hold the Proteas to a high standard. We hold our hockey team to a high standard. We hold our netball team to a high standard. You know, Oh, we hold our women's. We hold Banyana to a very high standard,
especially now that we know that they can compete at the highest level.
right? So Bafana, we have to just treat it the same way. The same way we treat the Springboks is the same way we must treat Bafana. That's my opinion.
But they must treat us the same by also
By
reciprocating,
actually playing.
right?
So 5-0 is good, but I want to see
Yeah,
another
but
three
it
0 I
must
want to
keep
see
going.
another.
Yeah, it must keep
You
going.
see, keep it going. And of course,
Yeah,
I'm not saying we can't lose. Of course, it's football. But the when you watch when you watch like a World Cup and you watch the national teams, even us, like we're not Spanish, we're not French, we're not. But my man, there's something like when you watch and you can see in their face, you can feel it. You can be like, this is there's this thing, my man. Like when they're doing the national anthem in Brazil, they're looking up and you can see their head is up, and you're like, hey, I'm not even Brazilian, but yo, I know it's a
going down.
like there's a very good feeling here. You know what I mean? Bafana have to give that to us as well, and they give that to us by playing like this. So I'm not surprised that a lot of us are starting to feel this, which is a good sign. But I'm just hoping that we are able to keep this the same sort of quality of play and standard.
Okay, let's hope. So to that subscriber, we wish Bafana all the best. That's all we ever wish.
And we wish them the best all the time.
All the time. All
All
right.
the time.
So you'll see I've pulled
Ish,
our fantasy league here. Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a look at the fantasy league and where we stand essentially. So obvious. We are down there somewhere, Chief. I don't see Black Diamantes here anywhere.
ish.
Huh? What's going on?
Vele, vele,
What's going on,
vele,
Chief?
vele, where are we, dog?
Yeah. So okay, number one is what? Aspera ad astrata. Yeah, no. That I don't know what language that is, but he's number one so far. Then we've got Mothball, Francois Leroux. Then we've got Kobe and Paste. You see, there again, the naming conventions of these teams. Um, hey, hello. Is there somebody here? No. Oh, I just saw somebody coming in. I thought it was somebody from the team. But anyway, then we've got 8496 FC. Man, I don't know. Then I don't know who that is. Then we've got Papri Nada FC at number 5. Then we've got PV 2024-25. Then we've got number 7, I Jota Feeling. Number 8, Bomanyuga. Okay, Tikas, I see you. Then we've got Moso FC. That's Molecule. Then 10 is one Chouameni, Clan Nicholson. So that's where we at. That's where we at, homeboy.
There we
You're back.
go. Hey,
So yeah,
technical this.
our top 10, our top 10 is quite interesting.
Am I there in the top 10?
No, Chief. It's only Tikas and Molecule in the top 10. The rest of us, we are down there somewhere.
Yeah, I know,
Sure.
guys. It's tough. It's tough.
But the
I
stories.
I had a terrible week, dog. I had a terrible weekend, bro. When because I had Saka, ne? And then Saka scored. He scored, and I think he assisted.
Yeah.
And then he got like, I think he got like 12 points or something. And then I had Haaland as my captain, didn't score. He gave me 4 points. I was so vexed, bro.
That's wild.
So hey.
Yeah, look, this is quite interesting. We're not even halfway into it yet. But it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I've already used a lot of my chips.
Hey, Mara, you always do it so early in the season. When why?
Hey man, hey, look, yeah, no, I'm a bit erratic this season. I don't know why. Yeah, but I can safely say the team that I have now should last me the next few game weeks. And maybe should also be able to put me up there. I think Cole Palmer has been touted now as a must-have, right? So it depends. How do you mix your premium players? You got Cole Palmer, you've got Mo Salah, you've got Erling Haaland, you've got Bukayo Saka, you've got who else do you have? You've got an Ollie Watkins. I mean, how do you mix and match in defense? You've got a Trent. You know, how do you mix and match all of that stuff?
Hey man, like I think you have to get like I think you have to decide where your money is gonna come from. Ne?
Let's
So
talk about your team. See, I've been talking about
oh
my team.
me.
Let's talk about your
Okay.
team.
So me, I'm like fine. I look at 3 things. I look at probability, right? And it's only based off previous games because you honestly never know. But probability, personal preference, of course, like anybody, and of course the limit of only being able to have 3. The limit of only able to have 3 players from the same team, right?
Yeah, this is
So
your
I was
team
like,
from from the previous game week.
previous game week, right? So cool. I was like, fine. Martinez for goalkeeper is a very solid goalkeeper in general, right? He's pretty solid. And Aston Villa is not a they don't is not a team that like so far they don't concede and like an absurd amount of goals. So I was like, you know what? I kind of like Martinez, and even last season he's pretty consistent. Trent, I was like, because I know in game he'll actually play sometimes, obviously in the middle in real life. He passes the ball a lot more. I was like, I'm probably gonna get in general probably a lot more assists from him, or a lot of more bonus points because of good play, man of the matches, etc., and the occasional free kick and whatever. Cavadiol is just consistent. I haven't
Hey,
seen
not this season, Chief. Not this season. He's not
no
scoring like he was.
not this season, but again, like I said, probability. So I was like, maybe, right? And then who else is there? Saliba. Saliba, same thinking, like not many goals, but
Are you not are you not regretting Gabriel over Saliba? Because Gabriel is the one who's banging the goals out of the two.
yeah, but again, my money wasn't in the defense. So I was like, let me go with a solid defender. And also I was like, "Ish, I don't know. At the time when I'm making the team, I'm like, how am I gonna put Gabriel, Saliba, Saka, and like so I was like, let me just pick these guys for now, and then let me spend my money elsewhere. And then the other
Okay.
defender, Keane is basically like a. I know he plays most games, so he at least gets 2 points. But I was like, let me save money here.
I see.
And
And then
then
you went for
and
the
then I was like,
medium
fine.
strike.
And then I was like, my money must come from the middle to the top. So I was like, I got Mbuemo because hey, yeah, Mbuemo's been no shame. He's been doing his thing.
Yeah, no, he's been a breath of fresh air, hasn't he?
He's been doing his thing. Saka, even though I don't like him because he plays really well, I was like,
Hey,
hey
man,
man,
you rub the Arsenal fans the wrong way. Don't be saying things like that.
chief, I don't like him. Oh, I like him, but I don't like him. I like him because he's too good. Um, and yeah, like, and then also I was like, also wanted to give some chances. Like, for example, I really like Eze from Crystal Palace. His team is
Mm.
of unfortunately a team that's not consistent, but I kind of I like him as a player. So I was like, let me give him a shout. Um, and then strikers, I was like, I need guys who more often than not will score. And then I was like, Ollie Watkins and Haaland. And then I also was thinking of Mateus Cunha because when he scores, he scores. But again, it's not consistent. So I was like, I'm trying to go for an all round more consistent in general. I mean, I had, for example, I had Rodri ish,
Yes.
until the
Until the things did not happen.
until the legs didn't do the things. So I was like, hey, and then I had to make changes
So,
there. I had to sacrifice a few points. So that was
so
really
I
more
have
my thinking. What about you?
my man, me, I have a very strange team.
Okay,
So you'll see by my points. Yeah, I had a really, really,
what's going
really,
on?
really, really tough couple of game weeks. I've been struggling to change my keepers because again, I've been trying to put as much money into the premium picks, hoping that they could get me the points that I need. I'll tell you, my biggest disappointments have been
Salah.
Pedro Porro. Honestly, for me, he's been quite a disappointment.
Mm,
Um, Mazraoui started well. I could see a couple of clean sheets. I could see his attacking prowess. Maybe he can have 1 or 2 assists, but nah, not gonna work. Lewis, I'm happy with. He gets game time. He's always
yeah.
in that false midfield position, always close to the final third, assisting. I'm cool with him. Gusto's been on and off. So I've been thinking of James Justin there.
Okay.
But I think when we do our preview on Friday, we will go through our teams for
Yeah.
this coming game week, and we'll see what changes we've come up with.
Mhm.
So I went for the jugular here with Cole
Mm.
Palmer, Mohamed Salah, and Haaland, and unfortunately, the Egyptian king and the Nordic midfield did not do anything for me.
Eish.
And I went for a differential in McNeil. I mean, in the past 2 game weeks, he's been hitting double figures. So I thought, hey,
Yeah.
you know,
Big man.
the, the,
Hmm.
the fixtures are not too bad. He's attacking. He takes set pieces. If Calvert Lewin is not playing, I'm sure he'll take penalties. But yeah, obvious. My thing was not. My team was not make sure. So
Eish.
It's,
Sorry, my man. Sorry.
it's been really, really messed up, isn't it? But
Hey,
yeah,
man.
that's the team so far. But it's going to be interesting to see our teams coming into the
As
next
they,
into the
yeah.
next game.
But I think, and also because these international breaks always change some things. Some players are more tired than others. Some of them,
Right.
some of them come back on a high. Playing well for international. So it'll be interesting to see how we adapt. I know I'm gonna spend some time this week, trying to get the most out of this.
Doing some things.
Trying to
So
get the most out of it because hey,
I've got a question, right? There are these rumors that Trent is because now remember Carvajal's got a ACL injury out for the
yeah,
season. Now Madrid needs a right back. Obviously they're shopping, and obviously they're
of
Madrid.
course,
They're gonna shop top tier. You know what I mean?
standard.
So a lot of the pundits have been talking about Trent possibly making a move in Jan or whatever the case to replace Carvajal. So I have a little spanner in the works here. I'm inclined to say, is Pedro Porro not a better fit?
Yo,
Right?
yo, okay,
Okay, okay.
okay,
Yeah, Liverpool and Spursy, totally two different levels. Granted,
yeah,
right?
fair enough.
But let's take a look at the individual players and how they have been performing. Let's take the past 2 seasons, right? I'm sure we can all agree Trent has been a breath of fresh air as a right back, moving into the false right mid area, passing range exceptional, set pieces, free kicks, pinpoint passing. The only Achilles heel that Trent has is defending, right? So
Mm.
with slot coming in now, you can see a bit of a difference in the sense that you can see, okay, you can see maybe he can defend a little bit better than last season. He's tracking back a little bit more. There's a bit of awareness or consciousness about when we don't have the ball, I must make sure that I get in line. And then I look at Pedro Porro here, right? Yes, he's been playing for Spursy, right? But when you look at his attacking ability, right, and you couple that with his defensive ability, yes, he's not the best defensive right back, but I would say he's much better, a little, well, much, a little, he's better than Trent defending, right? And attacking, he might not
Hey,
have
you
the
you
pass.
you're choosing your words wisely here.
Hey, my man, it's cancel culture is rife out here, my man. Hey, next thing we are cancelled. but essentially for me, I think Pedro Porro would be a better fit, right? In at Madrid than Trent, right? Mainly because of the defensive part of it. I mean, because we all know Madrid is Madrid, but we just saw in the Champions League now with Lille, um, and that team that they beat 3-1, but they were struggling with that team up until like second half, right? So they can concede goals, right? And because they have not gelled well up front yet, it's not a no-brainer that they're going to outscore everyone, right? Although they have the skill set to outscore everyone. So for me, I'm thinking, hold on a minute. Isn't Pedro Porro a much better fit than Trent? Firstly, he's Spanish, so he's back home. Language, culture, you know what I mean? He fits right in with the Madrid culture. I'm sure of it. Attacking wise, I'm sure him and Rodrigo will make a hell of a partnership. Defensively, he's got the stamina to come back defensively. I don't think Trent has that type of stamina, or at least I haven't seen it. So I don't know. I'm just throwing a spanner in the works here. I'm saying Pedro Porro is a much better fit for Madrid than Trent. What do you think?
You're gonna get me in trouble here. Um, I think okay. So Trent, it all depends on the game, yeah? Because at Liverpool, Trent can right back, center mid, right mid, that sort of free area. Madrid doesn't need him there. They don't. They've got Rodri.
Ah,
They've got
there's
Rodri.
enough talent there. They don't need to have a
They don't
makeshift
need him.
midfielder in there.
Yeah, they don't need someone who can cover for Valverde or cover for
Right.
Chouameni or cover for.
Yeah. No, no. There's too much
It's
talent
not.
there. Yeah.
It's not needed. So if he goes to Madrid, I think either for some reason they'll play him as a right mid, which doesn't make sense because Rodrigo is incredible, or they're
Ah,
going
he
to
doesn't
play.
even have the pace of Rodrigo.
Not many people have the pace of Rodrigo,
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
but then he'll play as a right back. And how many, in terms of English in England, how many times a lot of pundits were like, Rodrigo, Trent is not a outright defensive right back. He's more of attacking. You know, his crossing is incredible. His cross play is incredible. You know, midfielder. Pedro Porro, on the other hand, strong, it's quick. He's a very good defender. He's not he's similar to Cavaya in terms of like his stature, right? He's not really tall. He's not short, but he's not like really tall. But he's also not afraid to really to really hit you at where it hurts to get the ball, right? And he's Spanish,
And he's Spanish. That's what I'm saying.
and he's Spanish. So using that judgment, as a better fit for Madrid because they needed a player who doesn't need to go forward. I mean, if he's forward, he can, like outside the box, whatever, yeah, he can score, cool. But like the main purpose is to defend that flank when Rodrigo is all the way at the front there doing his magic, and then there's a gap maybe, and they need a defender. Poro's stamina, like you said, is great. I mean, the amount of clips I've seen him run back from like halfway line or whatever, and able to catch up, and he's very physically fit and he's very physically strong. I think I think Poro might be a better fit than Trent. Just purely based off that fact, it does make sense. It really does
That's what I'm saying, homie.
because yeah, and also uh it will be easier for him to fit in, I think, from a squad perspective because he has that like you're saying coming home type of thing where sort of Spain and I don't know too many Spanish players who their dream isn't to play for Madrid or Barcelona. So also that like childhood, maybe, I mean, I don't know what's his favorite team, but like, maybe that childhood feeling of like, hey, yeah, Madrid, what do you mean? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, Trent, I mean, the last English person to go to thing is Bellingham. So maybe they're trying to say, you see, England can fit in Bellingham as well. But they needed a Bellingham. I don't think they need a Trent because I don't see a world where Trent is covering for Chouameni, Camavinga, Valverde, or Modric, or what's the other guy? Um, uh,
Valverde.
I can't see his name. The other young guy, I can't see his name, but and Camavinga sometimes plays left back, even him. So it's like they've got options, man. I don't see a world where Trent is in a position where he's playing like he plays at Liverpool at Real Madrid because it's not even that he can't. It's just that they don't need him to. And I don't think
It's yeah,
Ancelotti is going to change his style for a right back, quote unquote.
a right back who's not
Um,
really a right back, right?
exactly. And then they don't need any more midfielders anyway. So Pedro
So
Porro is a very good shot. Very, very good
it,
shot.
it's going to be interesting. Look, I'd love to hear what our subscribers think. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people would also put in the Joshua Kimmich, you know, mainly because also he's got that ability to play in midfield as well. Um,
Hey,
I mean,
that'll
you
be a
can.
big loss for Bayern Munich, but that's also a fair shot unless they get like an Alfonso Davis.
I mean, Hakimi
Um,
can go back.
My man Hakimi, even Alfonso Davis, put Camavinga on the right, get Hakimi, and then Hakimi is
And
very attacking, but it can work.
yeah,
It can work. But hey, man, I think let's see what the fans think. But I think we need to close out, man. I'm the battery's about to die now.
hey, you see these things. You see these virtual things. Now we must get UPSs and all of
Facts.
this.
Yeah, man.
I see you. I see you. I no, it's
Yes, sir.
cool. Look, this has been quite an interesting
I enjoy it. It's different.
experience. Yeah, it's been different technically. Yeah, it's been quite interesting. But I'm sure the next virtual episode will be much better and smoother.
Of
Uh,
course. My man, the more we do, the better we become.
yeah, we learn as we go. So hopefully, yeah, hopefully this will look good on YouTube and we can continue with it. Virtual Fridays coming on Friday. We're gonna preview the weekend, game week 8. We're going to review tomorrow's game, Bafana, and whatever else other international games will have finished by tomorrow. Then we'll preview the game week, Liverpool Chelsea on Sunday. I'm sure there's big games in the Bundesliga, La Liga, Ligue 1. Um, this virtual Fridays, I'm going to pull up the Saudi Fantasy League. I am
Yes.
still the only one in that league. Like nobody wants to win
I'm also
prizes.
in the league.
Okay, well, the last time I checked, I was the only one. Oh yes, no, you're
Yeah,
right.
man.
I did see you last week. I did see you last week.
Hey, hey, hey.
But I mean, like, there's only two of us. Like,
Yeah, true.
there's only two of
True.
us. So maybe we must maybe we must get the Saudis there to put 1 million rents. Maybe people will
Prize,
start
man.
joining the
Mm.
fantasy league. Yeah.
Hey,
No,
but hey,
but
man,
it's
I
been
gotta
good, man.
go.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it's
you.
been good. Let's link up again.
Yes, sir.
Fantasy League, follow. We'll see you on
Cheers, man.
Friday, Dan. Peace in the Middle East.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks, guys. Subscribe, eh?
Yes,
Don't forget to
cheers.
subscribe.
Subscribe, follow, comment, trash us, all of that jazz.
Sure.